Hey you guys, it's Alma Jam. I want to talk about our group power shift tonight because it makes me emotional when I even feel doing this video. Your engagement, your dedication to yourself, to embody yourself, to be who you are, has totally created and shifted this session to add to what we're already be doing. So as you know, this group is about clearing, aligning, integrating. More clearing, more aligning and integrating. More clearing, more aligning, more integrating. Layer after layer after layer after layer, right? To really move you as deep as we can into who and what you really are. Just very quickly, right? So because of you, because of your engagement, and for those of you who have already registered, you know I'm talking to you, and for those of you who have not registered but you know you are, I'm talking to you, because you guys have already created our field, and the field keeps growing as you guys keep registering, and Spirit knows who's registering that hasn't yet. So this is not like a mental thing, don't worry about it, okay? But I have to say that part. And these sessions always start before the actual session time. So especially the day of the session, we're in this field together basically all day. It's just what it feels like for me. And so there's a lot of healing and a lot of release and a lot of these subtle releases that can happen before we actually meet at the session start time. So the session builds and builds and builds and builds, and all kinds of different layers and subtleties come in because of you, because of your engagement. And so because of you and how you're showing up today, you guys have added this whole other aspect to this session. And I have to ask you this question now. Are you willing to let go of your entire identity? Your entire identity, that which you feel is still you. Can you let that fully just drop away and the truth of you come out? When we've had our initial awakening, and I call it the initial awakening, you know, when the true self first bursts through, right, all our identity and all our stuff, that's just the beginning, right? We've done all this healing, but when the first initial awakening happens, that's the beginning of a whole new experience, right? And that's the beginning of a whole new other healing, we could say, right? Embodiment and purification, all that. When this happens, and it's happened to all of you, right? That which you thought you were, that identity that it initially breaks through, that identity is done. It's over. Nothing's feeding it anymore. It is a bunch of habit and conditioning. Dense habit and conditioning, right? So we still feel like we're this person, we're this thing, we're this identity. But Spirit's asking me to ask you today, are you willing to let your entire identity go? Entire identity die off, let go, and move on, and you come forward and live from there. So this is our additional piece to the session today. And they wanted me to ask you now, so you can be in this inquiry and what this will do for you before we actually meet at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. So it's a very major question. Don't ask your mind what this means for you. Just feel what I'm saying. Feel what I'm saying. The identity has its efforts, and it has fear, and it has to heal, and it has to do all this stuff. Where if you just let it go and become you, let that full you just come out and live from there. And what's that like, right? So that's my question for you today. Are you willing to let go of your entire identity, let it fall, let it drop away, and let this truth of who you are take up all the space, full on?